Welcome back to the Maven Show. This is your host, Rohit. Today we have Charles. Charles, one of the founder and CEO of the top leads agency. He's been into the entrepreneurship from probably more than 10 years now and have did multiple figures in businesses like couple 100,000 euros cross $1 million in sales, revenues, and so on and so forth, and working with great mid-sized organizations and small businesses and so on. So Charles will be sharing us a bunch of insights today, and we would love to have him into the Mami show. Welcome in, Charles.
Thank you, Rohit. I've been late to the show, so my apologies for that, but hopefully I'll make up with great content.
Yeah. We would love to have you in, like sharing you a bunch of insights about entrepreneurship and so on. So just like, let me just like you're pretty new to the audience we have. You're pretty new to the show we have. So would you like to tell us something about yourself first, like your pretty much your background and how did you start it, when did you start it, and what's the purpose behind everything?
Yeah, well, I started as many young teenagers growing up in an American-ish culture. I'm from Quebec, Canada, and we checked to our neighbors south for the culture. And so I was listening to these rappers, talk about monies and cars and all of these things. And I wanted that as a young guy. My dad was an entrepreneur, so I had a lot of my dad in my veins and in my brain. So I was like, okay, I had these jobs, but I want this freedom. I want to be in charge of my own schedule, and I want to make more than $11 an hour, which was the minimum salary back in these days. So I looked up to entrepreneurship. I had a couple of friends. Their parents were also entrepreneurs. I had this one friend who was selling iPod Touch, and I thought, okay, I can do that too. So I began buying iPod Touch at like $60 and reselling them at 120. And I did that also with other Chinese, anything Chinese really, on a website called AliExpress slash Alibaba. So I would buy something at $1 and resell it for like 50. So I discovered the art of profit, which was highly motivating for my young brain. It was like, turn a dollar into $50, and then I can go out and party and do all types of stupid shit with that money. So that was the start of my journey. Long story short, I went and traveled to Hong Kong as a student. I then discovered digital nomadism. And from there, I started traveling the world with my wife, launched a bunch of business, my agencies, and so forth. So did a bunch of things in between, went on TV, and started a supplement that was formulated by a bunch of scientists and so forth. But long story short, pretty cool life that I had over the past couple of years, and it's just getting started.
So like, how many businesses you've been launched so far?
Probably around 100 so far. How many succeeded? Like probably a tenth or something like that, financially speaking, because for example, my supplement business, it was literally a PhD in entrepreneurship or an MBA, or even these words don't do it justice, because as you know, the educational system is kind of very backwards. And I learned so much, so for example, my supplement business, I closed it down. We lost respectively probably 50K plus, me and my partner, but still it was worth the while, because we learned pretty much everything from there. And nowadays, with this top leads agency thing, we do cold email, and it allows me to test a bunch of products with different markets, to reach product market fit. So theoretically, I must launch around one new business per day. So this is pretty incredible and allows me to see, what works and what doesn't work in this market.
And what do you think? Like, have you faced any challenges in your journey so far? How did you overcome that? And what's been there from that standpoint to now over here?
I think we only face challenges as entrepreneur, but we get to love them. We get to modify our brains and our mindset to get to love these challenges. So, where to start? Various times in my businesses, and again, this is my fault because I'm pretty much on the left side of the risk line, if you want. I take a lot of risk, but a lot of times I've been backstabbed in my business, I promoted people to leadership positions internally while they should not have been promoted. I trusted people which were not worthy of trust, and they turned back on me, because that's what people do when there's money involved. There's an easy way and a tough way. I've always took the tough way, on my side, the scalable way. But some people, they just need money right now, whether it's to feed themselves or to feed their families. They've got really animalistic mindset. So yeah, I've been turned down by lots of people. I've been backstabbed by my own employees, for example. At some point, I had a bunch of angry clients pairing up together and going after me. I've got lawsuits and so forth, so my reputation has been ruined a couple of times. But I always stood up, and yeah, I learned from these errors, because it's never black or white in this world. It's never like, oh, it's them. No, shit, it was me. I didn't took care enough of my clients. I didn't vet my people enough in my HR processes. So I did pretty much every error in the textbooks, but that's what we're supposed to do, right? Billionaires, they just failed a billion times more than you and I. That's the difference between them and the common mortal.
Got it. Like how you entered into entrepreneurship. Is it something you've been doing since the teenage? Someone pushed you to get in, someone forced you to get in, or you decided, yeah, I'm just going to have and I'm just going to be getting into this thing. Make it up.
Me was more like natural, since I've been conditioned from a young age by my dad, which is an entrepreneur. But it was also the seeking profits, like I said, and seeking time and money freedom. Because when you think about it, there's time, there's money, there's energy in this world. Pretty much each are equivalent to one and another. So I was always seeking more on that level. I didn't want to be told by someone what to do. I had a very decent brain myself, and I could strategize, I could plan, I could think. So why would this guy with white hair would tell me what to do, when I was working at this golf club when I was younger? So like I've always sought this freedom. That's why I dove into entrepreneurship, and that's why I'm not coming back. Also, that's a question, because I could be making a shitload of money at this age with the skill set that I have in this job market, as a VP sales, even somewhat as a CEO or a COO. I am so much adaptable that I could change myself and learn the crafts of pretty much everything. So that's a salary of at least 150K. I could be a financier as well. I have that in my DNA, a VC or a financial analyst. I can make at least 150 to 200K per year. So I turn down job offers, for example. So why am I continuing to do that? Well, because I'm going all in. Like I don't want to make these smallish sums of monies compared to what I could make in a near future, which could be 150 million. You replace a K by an M, or even billions later on. And also, I want to retain this freedom, and I don't want to corrupt my mindset with exchanging my time for money. I want to be an artist. I want to keep on doing my art, which nowadays is copywriting and so forth, videos, content, my thinking. I don't want to corrupt that. I want to keep on thinking like a pirate, a coureur des bois, like I am. So that's the why I'm keeping on track.
That's amazing to know, like, what do you think, like, what are the future plans you have right now? And how many brands do you own at this time? And what are how much you are into the operations side of each business or brand, and what are the future plans of each of them?
Not so long ago, I was 0% involved in my ops, and that's fully outsourced. Recently, I got 20-30% involved into them, because my COO had something unfortunate happen to him, so we had to replace him. So I do not spend much time in the ops, or I go on and off. I love to give people their freedom, and especially if it goes well. So yeah, I'm a bit involved in my ops. I mean, Top Leads, there's a couple of brands under it. So we do cold email for sales, we do closing as a service, we do recruitment, We do raising capital as a service, so there's a couple of brands under there. And then I have a bunch of other brands as well that are in the mix. For example, I want to get back in biohacking. I'm launching this longevity business. Will likely be, health tests. So you test yourself, you send them back to the lab, and they give you your data points and so forth. So that's a game I'm seeking to get into before the year ends. And I'm also getting in the incubator game. So to have a bunch of startups under me. I'm launching my own SaaS this year as well, software agency as well. So we've got a bunch of projects in the pipeline, but the core focus right now is top leads. It's coaching. It's also as a founder providing myself like a full-on salary without talking about my other business branches. For example, I do coaching, and my goal for this year is to make like 120K in my pockets only from that business. And I'm on track because my coaching, it's very popular, and I can build a bunch of clients for that. I can reinvest these things in other assets and so forth. So that's what I'm into right now. Yeah, entrepreneurship. I mean, I'm strongly biased, but I recommend it for most. That is if you want to achieve time freedom. But yeah, it's also, if you're seeking, just a normal classic life, that's also respectable. Maybe it's not for you, but for me, for my type of personality, guy that has always sought freedom, from authority or anyone trying to tell me what to do. It was definitely the best path. And I'm pretty sure you can understand that yourself, Rohit. I think you've been in the game for a couple of years now. I mean, you cannot turn back, once you have a taste of it, you cannot taste anything else.
Yeah, it is, like it's good as well. There are a bunch of challenges you have to face every day, probably from your own loving ones as well, or from your own society, from the people we have and the society outside, like bunch of things, but it's fun as well. I do believe this is fun as well. And to be honest, like sometimes I do feel like, like if I've been doing a job from last 5 years, I have never tasted the things which I have been tasted from last 1 or 2 years in this entrepreneurship of mine. But like, what do you think, according to you? So like, you've been into entrepreneurship from last 10 years now. What do you think? What's the mindset behind the entrepreneurship? Like, is it something which anyone can do? Is it something which should be having some qualities to get in, and keep it going? Or is it easy? Is it easy or not? How it is?
No, never easy. I mean, if you ask me or someone that has been in the game for quite a while, we will tell you that it's easy. That's because we convince ourselves that everything is easy. And also it's because we forgot the struggle, literally. And it's because the brain improves on a daily basis. It's just like a muscle. The more charge you add to it, the more toughness you add, the more you stress you give it on a daily basis, the more it improves. So it's, yeah, like, I mean, I've tried to teach people to go on entrepreneurship from day one. They weren't entrepreneurs. It's probably never gonna work out for them, truth be told. So you need that kind of spark of almost extremism in your blood, of radically wanting freedom, probably coming from traumas in your own past, or just inspiration, because humans, it's always, you can play on the lack or the want, so me, and in my case, I had both. I had a dad that was entrepreneur to inspire me, and I had a system that kind of oppressed me up until I was like 18, always being outside of the class, not fitting in the educational system, although I excelled at it because I was smart. But they always treated me with less than what I deserved, and I always got bored in class and so forth. So if you don't have these things playing for you, I mean, it can be very challengeful to be successful in entrepreneurship. So if if it's hard or not, yes, it's hard, but like, I mean, if you change your mindset, and I mean, that's the name of the game, whether you want entrepreneurship or not, the game of just like being schooling yourself and being better 1% better on a daily basis. I'd encourage anyone to get on that path. And if they start seeing, for example, that their 9 to 5 is boring and they want more, they're like performance machine, whether at young age or in sports competitions as athletes or so forth. If they feel bored at their job, maybe they should seek out something better. If so, then they can try to go for a harder position that's better paid. And if they get bored again, then they might be okay, fuck it. I'm starting my own stuff, and I'm never looking back again because I'm tired of that. Or they might even hit a bad manager, that makes them have a terrible experience at their work, and they're like, okay, yeah, never of that again. I don't ever want to deal with a shitty manager again. I'm starting my own stuff. Now obviously there's a trap, because when you start your own stuff, like the book Emit describes it well, a lot of people suck at entrepreneurship, just like a lot of people suck at being a CEO of something. You need to develop a skill set for these things. Don't think that you will be good at entrepreneurship from day one. You'll need to develop a bunch of skill set. You'll need to be ADHD as well, because you cannot like focus on one thing at a time in entrepreneurship, especially when you start. So kind of being a jack of all trades, you'll need to change. It will fucking hurt because, just like a butterfly gets out of his cocoon, you always evolve into some different things. So you need to be highly comfortable with change and highly adaptable. And eventually, yeah, you'll understand that this is life, constant metamorphosis, pain, love, enjoyment. It's a heck of a ride. And for me, it's perfect because I love the thrill. A couple of experience you don't really want to count or recount. For example, my first t-shirt company, we never sold a t-shirt. My grass cutting company, we bought a truck and all the equipment and never even mowed one grass, so these embarrassing experiences. And by the way, if you ask why this happened, it's because I didn't know sales are like super duper important. Sales is putting yourself out there. It's crushing your ego and just doing what you need to do to get some sales. And as a young kid, I've always been nurtured by my parents, playing Call of Duty in the basement and living a comfortable life. I didn't know anything about touching on doors, and asking for people to mow their grasses. And like looking back at it, I would definitely redo it. For example, if I have a son and a daughter, I definitely accompany them to do these things, and get them accustomed to putting their ego on the line. I had so much ego when I was younger. Like you couldn't be right with me. I was always right. You were always wrong. And yeah, that took me a while to detach myself from that and to become the man I am today. So sales is like number one for new entrepreneurs. You need to sell or you die.
Yeah, it is. Like you have to sell. At the end, it's money, it's the revenue to roll in. You have to sell anything. Like it is. Yeah, that's the game. Yep. And tell me, like, you guys been into tech. You're into tech as well. You're into technology. I've been into technology as well. What do you think, like, how technology is entering into the startup culture, how it's changing, evolving, and how it's going to be changed in the next 5, 10 years?
Technology, it's kind of hard to predict where it will go. Startups, I can tell you, I can come back to my emerging countries theory. India has a lot playing for them on the startup side. So I'll be investing in India for sure. My VC money in the next couple of years, and these emerging markets. LATAM is one of my favorite markets as well. This as a general direction. We can talk about AI and all of these things. AI is like a conversation, where to start. We're definitely not at the stage of hitting AGI and losing all of our jobs and everything being solved, and universal general income, UGI, and all of these things, but that will have a strong impact on the market. RPA, robotic processes automation. So that will certainly have an impact on this world. We're seeing crypto as well. You and I, we wanted to talk about crypto during this podcast, so maybe that's the moment to do so. But I also believe the future of countries to be, countries that are founded just like a business, assembling people that agree on a culture, people that have similar values and so forth with their own cryptocurrencies and so forth. I think that that is the 10 to 15 years future of the world, and the world is going to fundamentally change when that's going to happen. But in terms of startup, I mean, it's almost the same old, like I don't follow up the trends that much, although I do know what is working nowadays, what's hot and what's not. Obviously, we know that Web3 was hot, and crypto as well nowadays, although there's been a crash and so forth. But yeah, I do believe that this is kind of the future. And in the startup world, I mean, NFTs are cool. So far, we don't see like real utility behind NFTs, although they must be exciting from a monetary perspective. And I'd love to discuss that with you. But to me, it's all interesting, these topics and where society is heading. I think generally speaking, tech is saving the world. Startups are saving the world. So I'll always be behind it and preaching slash encouraging the cause.
NFTs, Web3, blockchain, crypto. I've been into this from just last 1 year now, but have learned so much, I guess, that I am even launching my own Web3 brand now. And I'm just trying to bring the best friendship bond probably into the metaverse with the name of Daha Friends, making 10K, 555 friends in the Daha Friends metaverse, having all friends into the ones, and like everyone can experience the friendship. So that's something, like coming up. That's amazing.
Friendship. Tell me a bit more about friendships. Why did you focus on that?
Oh, friendship, like I will be covering this into the next podcast with you, probably just for the sake of glimpse. Um, since I've been into entrepreneurship from last 3, 4 years of mine, I lost touch to the old gold guys and gold friendships which I have had, and I've been missing that so much, like so much, I guess, for the sake of some time. And man, I'm alone in my space at this time, just focusing on my things, just focusing on my brands, just focusing on Mavenwit, focusing on brands, focusing on under the Maven with a bunch of things. What's next, what's next, what's next, and so on. And I've been missing the things out. Where are my friends, man? Where are my friends? Then recently, I guess, like, uh, I got inspired from one of my friendships. So I have had my one friendship from where I just got inspired from this. So that took the idea of bringing this to the reality. Like we should be creating this kind of like a bond, a forever bond into the metaverse. So everyone should experience this kind of bond into the metaverse. Even the person is not experiencing into the real world, because there are a bunch of things happen with people's life. Friends disappeared, or they have their own lives, they go their own ways. So people face it every day. I did have faced that the same way. So I know like this can be something just to be exploring, and coming up with something. So this was the one. It's coming now.
Nice. Love it. Good idea. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, people are loving it. So fun. Name is the best. Things are the best. I'm just trying to make the 10,000 plus friends right now. Every friend is unique. Every friend will be have their own names. That name is something which they will be known for the entire centuries, into the metaverse, into the digital world, and so on, even into the real world as well, by giving them the utilities and so on. Yeah.
Then each will have their own AGI personality eventually and will be a
100%.
real friend.
100%, 100%. Let's say you will be let's say Charles will be going to be the friend of Eric, who is the part of Daha Friendship or Daha Friends Metaverse. That's something, like every friend has their own name, bringing out the same. Like a real, we have real things, we will be having the digital. It's exactly the same. Awesome, Charles. That's all I guess. That's all. Like, I mean, I have been asked a bunch of questions from you. Do you think, like, do you want to give a quick tips for anyone who is entering into the entrepreneurship, probably tech, probably what mindset the person should consider, or what things the person should consider in moving on?
When you start as an entrepreneur, you get a lot of short-term mishaps, lots of challenges, lots of fire burning. When these happens, just look 5 to 10 years in the future, and ask yourself, will it matter in that time? The answer is always no. every time I've been backstabbed and I've had drama in my own businesses, it doesn't even matter today. Actually, it's just good content, it's content that I use for these podcasts. So be patient, have this very long-term mindset, and just be systematic and rational about things. If you put in the time on a daily basis, if you read the books, the podcast, and get good content in your brain, and if you act on these pieces of knowledge on a daily basis, your brain will get better. You will get these connections. You will think better. You will think faster. You will make better decisions. Everything will be better in your life and your business. So if you do that on a daily basis, 365 days a year for like 5 to 10 years, next thing you know, greatness will happen in whatever you do. Okay, so have a long-term mindset. Think in terms of 5, 10, 15 years. Be creative, express yourself in your art, which is your business. You have the freedom to do that on a daily basis. That should be enough to keep your smile on and keep you going. And yeah, when tough shit hits you, when shit hits the proverbial fan, chill. Okay, like this will be fine in 5 to 10 years.
That's awesome, Charles. That's all from my side, I guess. I think I have asked a bunch of questions so far, that's all. So that's it. And thanks for having into the show and sharing these bunch of insights. I guess people would be loving to have these insights to get going with the entrepreneurship, and how to roll the ball. That's all. Thanks for being on the go. And I would love to hop on the next podcast with you, having discussion about the crypto and so on. Thanks.